Millions of Syrian refugees are migrating out of Syria and flooding into other countries. The Syrian refugee crisis began in March 2011, when protests rose in Syria as part of the Arab Spring. People are looking for more human rights and are against the government of Syria. The president, Bashar al-Assad, responded violently to these protests with a brutal crackdown, and civil war broke loose. The Syrian civil war has killed many people. An estimated 400,000 people have been killed, and it has caused millions of people to seek refuge elsewhere. A civil war is not a very pleasant thing to be in. The Syrian civil war has killed an estimated 400,000 people and forced many people to move. Over 7 million people have been displaced internally in the country, and over 4 million refugees are seeking asylum. European countries are struggling to deal with this crisis, especially Greece, which is heavily in debt. The countries surrounding Greece have closed their borders to Syrian refugees, so now many refugees are stuck between Greece and the Mediterranean. Countries such as the UK and Germany have been more welcoming to Syrian refugees. Germany is willing to take in 800,000 refugees a year. President Obama comments on Angela Merkel's willingness to take in so many refugees.
I'm very happy that in such turbulent times we've again had the chance to talk about the whole spectrum of international issues, especially combating terrorism, fighting the reasons why people are fleeing, the peace process, but also questions related to migration.
Und natürlich auch die Fragen der Migration.
Thank you to Chancellor Merkel. What's happening with respect to her position on refugees here? In Europe, she is on the right side of history on this. She is giving voice, I think, to the kinds of principles that bring people together rather than divide them. And I'm very proud of her for that, and I'm proud of the German people for that.
President Obama has said that he planned to take 10,000 refugees into America over the course of this year. In November 2015, President Obama made a speech referring to the Syrian refugees as pilgrims and asking Americans to welcome them.
Hi, everybody. In 1620, a small band of pilgrims came to this continent, refugees who had fled persecution and violence in their native land. Nearly 400 years later, we remember their part in the American story, and we honor the men and women who helped them in their time of need. Thanksgiving is a day for food and football, and for hoping the turkey didn't turn out too dry. But it's also a day to count our blessings and to give back to others. A reminder that no matter our circumstances, all of us have something to be grateful for. Maybe it's good health, a new addition to the family, or a child taking a next step toward college or a career. Maybe it's a new job or a long overdue raise. Maybe it's something as simple and as important as the chance to spend time with the people who matter most. Of course, every American can be thankful for the chance to live in a country founded on the belief that all of us are created equal. And as president, I'm thankful that I get to see the best of America every day. The courage of our troops and veterans, the resilience of our families, and the basic goodness of the ordinary people who call this country home. On this uniquely American holiday, we also remember that so much of our greatness comes from our generosity. There's the generosity of Americans who volunteer at food banks and shelters, making sure that no one goes hungry on a day when so many plates are full. There's the generosity of Americans who take part not just in Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but Giving Tuesday, recognizing that in the holiday season, what you give is as important as what you get. And I've been touched by the generosity of the Americans who've written me letters and emails in recent weeks, offering to open their homes to refugees fleeing the brutality of ISIL. Now, people should remember that no refugee can enter our borders until they undergo the highest security checks of anyone traveling to the United States. That was the case before Paris, and it's the case now. And what happened in Paris hasn't stopped Americans from opening their arms anyway. One woman from Pennsylvania wrote to me to say, Money is tight for us in my household, but I have a guest room. I have a pantry full of food. We can do this. Another woman from Florida told me her family's history dates back to the Mayflower, and she said that welcoming others is part of what it means to be an American. Nearly 4 centuries after the Mayflower set sail, the world is still full of pilgrims, men and women who want nothing more than the chance for a safer, better future for themselves and their families. What makes America America is that we offer that chance. We turn Lady Liberty's light to the world and widen our circle of concern to say that all God's children are worthy of our compassion and care. That's part of what makes this the greatest country on earth. I hope that you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving, surrounded by loved ones and full of joy and gratitude. And together, may we all play our own small part in the American story and write a next chapter that future generations can be thankful for. From the Obama family to yours, have a great Thanksgiving.
The states have been separated on this issue. 29 states are opposed to accepting refugees, and only 11 are for as of 2015. Many citizens are unwilling to take the risk of letting refugees into this country. Even the Republican candidate for president, Donald John Trump, is opposed to Syrian refugees.
Now you have this guy, Secretary Kerry, maybe the worst negotiator. I think he will go down as a worse Secretary of State than Hillary Clinton because of the deal. And she was terrible, but I think he's going to go down as worse because of this deal. So now you have him saying, we're going to take in maybe, I mean, the number I'm hearing, it's inconceivable. You know, it started off with 10,000. The other day I heard 200,000. We're going to take in 200,000 Syrians or wherever they come from. We have no idea. There's no identification. There's no anything. And I'll tell you right now, and I'm putting everybody on notice, and hopefully this gets outside of this room, and I guess it will with all these crazy cameras going back there. I'm putting the people on notice that are coming here from Syria as part of this mass migration, that if I win, they're going back. They're going back. I'm telling you. They're going back.
Unfortunately for the states, they cannot override the president's decision to take in more Syrian refugees. So for now, the U.S. will continue accepting Syrian refugees. However, if Donald Trump becomes president, there will be no more refugees in America. The end.